All right, SEC West fans, it's old Rick again. Boy, I meant to do this about a month ago. Got kind of busy at work. You see my desk right here. What I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to preview the teams I think are probably going to win. Last year, y'all can pull my videos back. I had question marks on everybody, but I did say Auburn probably had the best chance of going undefeated than any other team. I had no idea they were going to win the national championship, but I did know there was a way they could go undefeated with their schedule and what they had coming in. I'm going to start with LSU because I'm an LSU fan and I know more about them. And then the rest is just going to be speculation and conjecture after that. But LSU fans are excited this year. Bama fans are excited. Arkansas fans are excited. That's three teams. Well, four. Throw Mississippi State in there as a dark horse. You got four teams with fans legitimately excited for the season. Arkansas, Alabama, and LSU fans are all thinking they got a shot at the national championship this year. LSU has 5 question marks that are bugging me about this team. Number one's Jordan Jefferson. There's good and bad to Jordan Jefferson. I'm going to talk about the good first. There's been a precedent amongst quarterbacks that struggle in their career. Now, you look at Chris Leak, Jason Campbell, John Parker Wilson. Those 3 quarterbacks in the SEC were pretty much aligned their whole careers. Now, I did not pull the stats up, which I probably should do after this, to see how those 3 quarterback stats looked before leading up to their senior year. But everybody will agree with me that those 3 quarterbacks were much aligned, and they played horribly at times. Probably not as bad as Jordan Jefferson's worst game. Chris Leak won a national championship his senior year. Jason Campbell probably should have won a national championship had he not, they got screwed by Oklahoma and USC. John Parker Wilson, he played great. Alabama went undefeated his senior year. He really came on strong his last year. And they got beat by Florida in that bowl game, and then that was it. Then of course, they went and lost to Utah. But another thing I like about Jordan Jefferson is that half the people are saying he's probably going to have a good senior year, and half the people aren't. If you listen to the Feinbaum show, everybody's just talking about his stats like some idiot named Legend. Yeah, he had bad stats. So did the rest of these guys. He got on ESPN, and instead of all them singing their praises like the guys at Alabama did when they did their shows and everything, that whole a day at ESPN experience was a mess because he said George Jefferson was George Jefferson, the president. He got the president and the dry cleaner mixed up. I still don't know what happened. So there's not a lot of people still singing his praises. The bad, our offensive coordinator, Cragthorpe, is not our offense coordinator anymore. He's our quarterback's coach. And now we got Coach Stud coaching the offense. As an LSU fan, I don't have any faith in Coach Stud as an offensive coordinator. I've got inside reports on his coaching. I've seen our offensive line under him. I don't think he's going to be the guy that's going to sit in the film room the way an offense coordinator needs to. I don't think he's going to take the time to develop game plans, and I think when he does, that's a major question mark to me as our offensive coordinator. I just don't have much confidence in Coach Stud, and this is coming from various sources and inside insights, and part of it is my personal thinking. And another thing, the bad about Jordan Jefferson, yeah, he had some really good games last year. Well, 2, Alabama. Well, he played well against Ole Miss, and he played well against A&M. But other than that, it was horrible. I have listened to numerous interviews. And what I do like about him is that he's not sitting here talking about possible national championships or any of that stuff. I remember McElroy last year. I listened to 3 of his interviews, saying how one of his interviews he said he wanted to beat teams with a higher win margin, and they talked about national championships so much, and I knew that was a bad omen. I haven't heard any of that from Jordan Jefferson yet, so it is a major question mark. But I do think he's going to be a solid quarterback this year, a productive quarterback. The number 2 big question mark LSU has to figure out is the loss of middle linebacker Kelvin Shepherd. That's going to be huge. We've got a lot of talent to fill his place, but it's just like when Alabama lost Rolando McClain. We're going to be worse without Shepherd, and we don't have anybody as good to replace him. So that's going to be a major question mark. And we're thin at the defensive line position. Freak is probably going to start as a true freshman, which is not a bad thing because he is going to be that talented. If his production like he did at the spring games any indication, he's going to be a tremendous talent, and he's going to be one of these 3-year guys going to play in the pros. But still, even at LSU, as much as we recruited at that position, to have a true freshman come in and start tells you something about our depth. The read option teams, Auburn, Ole Miss, Arkansas. Well, Arkansas is not really a read option. They just beat us passing. But those teams, Mississippi State, the SEC West teams put a lot of yards against our defense. And we're really going to have to try to figure that out quick because we got probably the number 1 or number 2 read option type offense coming in to Dallas and playing. I'm going to do a preview on the game later. Our wide receiver position is our 4th question mark. Reuben Randall needs to have a big year. Shepherd needs to have a big year. Again, these guys are just like Jordan Jefferson. They either had it last year in spurts and moments of brilliance, but for the most part it was mediocre or lackluster at best. So number 5 is I've seen a lot of reports on the Bleacher Report and Sports Illustrated, and another one. I haven't looked at Phil Steele's magazine. Here's another plug for Phil Steele about our schedule, but it's the toughest in the nation, according to the polls I've seen. So that's going to be the 5 question marks against LSU that has to be answered, and we don't have much time. A couple weeks till we have to play Oregon. So I'm not, as an LSU fan, I'm excited about the season, but I think the thing that tempers me more than anything is Coach Stud being our offensive coordinator, and a lot of other fans haven't really talked much about him. So we'll see. I do think they have a chance to go undefeated. I do think they have a chance to win a national championship. But in reality, I think they have a chance to lose 3 games too. I mean, these are major question marks. But that defense, we need to figure out how to defend that crazy offense. And Chavis, I thought, he's been a very good defensive coordinator, but we got thrashed last year. With all the talent we had. Very talented team. Got to stay focused. I will talk about Alabama tomorrow, what I think is going to happen with them. But these 5 question marks are pretty big. But we'll just have to, I guess that's why they play the game. I'll talk to y'all later, and I appreciate y'all watching my show. Thanks.